Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Before we jump in real quick, and because I didn't know if I would do a video on this or not, I just wanted to show if you did see that my previous video, it's hard to tell here, uh, but there was the talk about what was the whole thing that got Seattle all worked up and talking about emptying the bench, which I think might have been part of it. But then I saw an angle of this where I thought this might have been it as well. And as you see this, first of all, again, you see Skylar Diggins Smith speed up to purposely bump into. By the way, right there, Caitlin is going across the court, nowhere near the bench, on her way back to the bench. And then Skylar Diggins Smith speeds up, bumps into her, and Caitlin just ignores it. She's still trying to go that way, by the way. If you look here, she's still trying to go left to go to her bench, but the bully isn't allowing her to, so she just goes through it. Now, the guy gets his head in the way, so pay attention to after, because if you look right there, that's the coach now to your right, to Caitlin's left, who sees Caitlin walking there, which her teammate, who now is peeled off because that the troublemakers like to play innocent, the coach sees this, and you can see her turn. Look, she's upset right there. She's talking to that referee. She wants to get Caitlin a second technical and get her thrown out of that game. But anyway, we're going to move on to the ratings. The ratings are out for the first weekend of WNBA action. Post winning an Olympic gold medal. Let's not forget Team USA won an Olympic gold medal. Now, real quick, just to review, right? You see these great ratings. ESPN ABC 1.25 million, up 163%. CBS 1.23 million, up 107%. Ion averaging 579,000 for its package of Friday night games, up 109%. That number is really important because I'm going to show you something, because I just wanted to go through this real quick because I know I just did a video, but that number is really important. And again, this was the million plus viewers, right? Not one since 2008, 18. Now that includes the draft and the All-Star game. It really should be 16 on there. And then, of course, you have this, where it's basically all Caitlin Clark, except two games that were, I think this was after Caitlin Clark and this one before Caitlin Clark. Now we're going to get into this weekend. First weekend back. Haven't had ball since the All-Star game a month ago. People are pumped, right? Team USA just won gold. Let's check this out, folks. Here we go. WNBA Sunday. The ABC game. So that was this. We're working back. Of between the Storm Fever drew 2.232 million. So let's go back real quick to this. Where would that be here? Take away the All-Star game. That's not fair. Take away the draft. The top game is what? 2.30 million. This is 2.23. Then it's 2.25. So it's the third highest game this year. The third highest game this year happened to Storm Fever with 2.23 million. Now, before that, check this out. You go to Saturday, you have Liberty Aces. This is on CBS. Liberty Aces, 874,000. Lynx Mystics, 577,000. Now, Friday, Ion. Okay, this is Ion. This is not CBS. This is not ABC. This is not ESPN. This is Ion. This is actually not the Lynx. And there's a comment below. He corrects it. He said he double checked. The numbers are correct. This should be the Mercury. 1.219 million for a Friday night game on Ion because it had Caitlin Clark. And by the way, the reason I said pay attention to that Ion number is for this reason. Now the game Suns Wings, 485,000. Let's go back. Ion averaging 579,000. So, first Friday back after the Olympic break, month-long Olympic break, Team USA won gold. Everyone's pumped. The Sun Wings game pulls in over, what is it, 579? It's almost, not quite. I was going to say over. Not quite 100,000 fewer viewers than the average. I would love, if anyone knows, drop in the comments. I have not been able to find it. I would love to see game by game on this to see what are the fever games versus what's the other number, because for me, the other number is the true average. Because just like live attendance, we all know Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever pump that up big time for teams, and it makes their home attendance look better than it is. Yeah, even if it's only a couple of games, because when you're say the Atlanta Dream and you're drawing, 3,500, or the Mystics 3,500, 4,200, whatever it is for their arena, and you get a couple of Caitlin Clark games that are 18, 19,000, it has a significant impact on that. Now, here's the other thing that's absolutely crazy. Storm Fever, the Sunday ABC game of 2.232 million, is significantly higher than the other three non-Fever games that weekend, two of which were on CBS. Those three games combined, 1.936 million. So we're talking about just under, what is that? Just under 300,000 more for the Storm Fever game compared to the other three games combined. That is not even close, folks. That is not even close. And by the way, the other thing I would say about the Mercury Fever game on Ion, 1.219 million, it crushed the Liberty Aces game on CBS. It's like 50% higher, almost 50% higher. So what's going on, folks? Because I keep hearing that it's the WNBA that's growing. It's the WNBA. It's all these stars. It's the best, most competitive league in the world. The Liberty and the Aces have, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, 7 members of Team USA on the two teams combined. They are the marquee teams in the league. They are the big names. They are the draw. They have those Olympians because that's where all free agents want to play, New York and Las Vegas. And they can't even come close after just winning gold and a month off. They can't come close to drawing what the Indiana Fever drew on Ion. Really? Ion? That is absolutely insane. I want to go down to a couple other things that are kind of interesting. Like you said, Clark equals Ion greater than CBS. Pretty amazing stuff, really. Absolutely is. Yeah, see, here's where he says the number's right, but it's Mercury Fever, not Lynx. Uh, Clark and Ion beating the two super teams on CBS. That much is crazy. Yeah, I don't really have any comment on that. um, and this is a great point. Regular season games are outdrawing NBA regular season games from last year. Her playoff games will be 5 million and the finals will be 10 million if she makes it that far. Most popular athlete in sports, and it's not close. And there are a couple things I want to get down. Somebody is a legit draw. Uh, they're going to hate those stats. They're just in the denial phase. There's a few more phases to go. I'll help them get there. Caitlin haters are emotional wrecks, 100%. By the way, we're going to do a little bit of this. I got some new stuff for you on the whole fiasco with Hamby and the Aces, man. If the WNBA is a legit league, the Aces might not exist as a franchise in a year or two. That needs to be shut down, or at least forced to sell ownership or something. But her game won't transition. They're getting higher ratings than the NHL Stanley Cup. Man, this is okay. Yeah, this is kind of just funny. Again, to it, Caitlin Clark has transferred over into regular pop culture. Jamie Lee Curtis, the Scream Queen herself. I want to be Caitlin Clark for a day. I want to play basketball like Caitlin Clark. Oh, by the way, just to touch on the whole political cultural aspect just a tiny bit. for all the people that have put Caitlin Clark's fans into a very specific political box, Jamie Lee Curtis does not fit in that political box, folks. And she's very outspoken about it. So, what you gonna do now? But anyway, I thought that was really cool. And then this is funny because I love this. I love this. These people have to get marketers. They got to get people who know marketing. The numbers don't lie. Everyone watches women's sports. Well, first of all, this shouldn't even be women's sports because you really should be talking about the WNBA when doing this. And on top of that fact, I just destroyed that idea. They're watching Caitlin Clark. They're watching the Indiana Fever. And by the way, I start throwing in the Indiana Fever with Caitlin Clark because, let's face it, they've gotten much better. You've gotten some of their players, especially Aaliyah Boston. And I say that because she was such a big name. She was the rookie of the year before. So I think if it could negatively impact anyone the most in terms of the attention Caitlin Clark got coming in, it would be Aaliyah Boston. She's handled it extremely well. And let me tell you, Caitlin Clark fans who started watching the Fever because they're Caitlin Clark fans are big Aaliyah Boston fans. They're Kelsey Mitchell fans. They're Lexi Hull fans. And they love that team now. So that's why I say both. But look, Iron's second most viewed WNBA telecast. But look, they came to watch this girl that they show up here shooting the jumper. They didn't come to watch this one. And I just tore apart the fact that it's not women's sports because I just shredded all the other numbers from the weekend. So anyone who knows and is following the WNBA knows this is a nonsense, and all it does is annoy them. And the people who aren't paying attention aren't even going to see it. So I don't know what you're what you're doing with that. But anyway, this was cool too, and this I think will be maybe the last thing for this vid. Trying to keep this one a little shorter. I've done some long ones because there's been so much to talk about. Wilson sold out their fever rising Caitlin Clark basketball in under 30 minutes. Its availability hasn't even been announced from their Twitter yet. Folks, peeps, people, homies, this is why Caitlin Clark gets all the endorsements. Wilson doesn't want to just throw money away. Nike doesn't want to just throw money away. I mean, this is crazy. Oh, I do have one last thing I wanted to show you. And this was back the other one. This was the Limitless series, right? Collaboration with Wilson launched 11 hours ago and it already sold out. And then we have this. This is YouTube, obviously, but someone screenshotted this, which is cool. Fetty Film. I want to give him credit for this. Fetty Film, Fetty Film. And this goes to my point. Wilson basketball made the right choice. Los Angeles Sparks versus Las Vegas Aces, and Asia Wilson, the crowned MVP before the season even started. 40,000 for the full game highlights. Seattle Storm, Indiana Fever, 206,000 for the full game highlights. That is absolutely fantastic. So look, you've got great ratings for the two Fever games. And the WNBA should be terrified of the other ratings because I'm telling you, there has to be some sort of clause, some sort of opt out for renegotiation in that media rights deal if the WNBA cannot transfer Caitlin Clark fandom to the rest of the league significantly enough. Now, the NBA has enough leverage. They may say, "Hey, it doesn't matter what the rating's going to be. This is what you're paying the WNBA if you want to have our NBA games." That is a possibility. But barring that, I think there's got to be something. I think that 3-year look has to be for the media as well as the league in terms of any type of renegotiation because this does not look good. Storm Fever beat out the other 3 games combined that weekend, which had a huge, supposedly, if you listen to the league and the media, the supposedly huge matchup of the two super teams that everyone loves. Liberty Aces didn't even come close to drawing 1 million fans. Not even close to 1 million fans. This is not good for the WNBA. Not good for the WNBA. It's good for Caitlin Clark. The WNBA needs to take a step back. They need to get their marketing team together and they need to figure out a plan because what they're doing is not working. What they are doing is not working. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on these numbers. By the way, if you have seen The Crazies, let me know what you thought about it. I thought it was a pretty good zombie movie. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below on these numbers, your thoughts about Caitlin Clark going forward, about the WNBA. What do they need to do differently to transfer this over? Probably not have displays like they had for the Seattle Storm at the end of that game, but other than that, but I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you checking out this video so much. Thanks for all the comments, the likes, subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I would appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.